All right, everybody. Welcome to another fun episode of the Faithful Visionary Project. Today, we are talking about seed time and harvest. Um, Before we really even jump into today's presentation, as I often do, I have a little bit of an intro. Um, One of the things that we need to ultimately recognize, and this is this is where like the first time we got together comes into play, which is there is really only one cause in this world, and that one cause is God. And there's only one effect in this world, and that effect is God. Winter, summer, up, down, in, out, seed time, and harvest. There's only one God. Being that there's only one God and that God created a perfect universe, one of the things we come to recognize as we do this work here in this world is begin to start recognizing that creation is already finished. And what seems to be a problem or an illness or disharmony is only something we're perceiving with our own human imagination. And it's only the meaning that we are giving it, which is based on old beliefs that we are smaller than that which is outside of ourselves. It seems as though we're going through this linear time period called our life, when in fact, what is happening only exists right now because there's only one cause and one effect, and that is God, the very creator of this whole universe that has already been created, is being created, and will continue to be created, whether we are aware of it or not. Now, God creating this world, one could argue, made a whole garden and gave us our mind in which we experience the garden. And based on what we are holding in mind, we have a perception of the garden. And what we're being called to do is select that which we want to harvest and plant seeds. We're selectors. We 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 like to call ourselves creators, but there's only one creator. So we're more witnessing the creation, and we get to select what we're witnessing. So when we say seed time and harvest, and this is coming from Neville, he says we are not to take that literally because creation is already finished. We take it spiritually, seed time and harvest. The states, the states in which we find ourselves are the seed time. The harvest is simply the encountering of events and circumstances of life. The states in which we find ourselves are the seed time. The harvest is simply the encountering of events and circumstances of life. All right. So we talk about the states of consciousness. Um, they're typical ones, right? The I am poor, I am rich, I am healthy, I am unhealthy, so on and so forth, right? We can fall in and out of states. The harvest is simply the encountering of events and circumstances of life. So that's your moment to moment experiences and interactions that you're having in your day to day life. Some call it circumstances, some call it the 3D. Either way, it is what is showing up. It is your bank account. It is the scale, the weight on the scale. It is the diagnosis from the doctor. It is the poor relationship with your spouse. That's your harvest. That's what you're encountering here in this place we call space and time. But the states that we have are the seed time. So Neville says when you drop your desire in consciousness as a seed, when you drop that desire in consciousness, you take on this new state of consciousness, confident that it shall appear in its full blown potential. You have done all that is expected of you. To be worried or concerned about the manner of their unfoldment is to hold these fertile seeds in mental grasps, and therefore to prevent them from really maturing to full harvest. So when you have a desire for a thing, like you want to be somewhere on a certain date, and you're confident that it shall appear in its full blown potential, you know you're going to get it, and you know you're going to get it first class. You've done all that is expected of you. But see, what happens is we get lost in this harvest, in this world, in this 3D world, and we fall asleep and we become worried. We start doubting. We start thinking about how can we make this happen faster? Or what can I do to make it happen? We get uncomfortable, we get frustrated, we get triggered. We keep we keep seeing the same old patterns, the same old things, and we thusly continue to hold on to that desire. We never fully drop it into the ground, or perhaps we even drop it into the ground and we go and dig it up with our worries and our frustrations and our doubts. It's the same thing as just holding on and never dropping. So when you are in this, well, okay, I'll continue on. Our seed time is that moment in time when you and I react to anything in this world, right? And the reason why that is remember what Neville said. He said this you can tell what your state of consciousness is based on your reactions to life. So the seed time is that moment in time when you and I react to anything in this world. Negative news, and you're like, oh, and you have that feeling, your heart rate goes up and you can't think straight. That's a seed time. Attitudes are the seed times of life. And although we may not remember the seed time or the moment of our response, nature never forgets. And when it suddenly appears in our world, that suddenness is only the emergence of a hidden continuity. It was continuous from the moment of reaction until it appeared in this world. That's why, you guys, I often point out, like, if you find yourself going, like, why does this keep happening? The very fact that you're asking that with feeling is why it's happening. It was a continuous moment of reaction. So every time you react in in a way that isn't ideal for you. Only you can know what's ideal. Every time you react in a way that proves the unideal of the situation or circumstance, that's a seed time that goes out into the future. It doesn't recede to the past. So think about it. If that's true, that would also mean if you can add feeling with some sort of positive thought or an ideal thought, I shan't not say positive. It's not about positive thinking, but ideal. If you can match your emotional with your ideal, that doesn't go to the past, y'all. It goes to the future. It's a seed time. It's your attitude. That's why I say if it doesn't seem ideal, it ain't real. That's why I say if you're being triggered, that is a sure sign you need to go within. You need to go home. You need to go to where God is and recognize that God created a perfect universe. And all that I have, all that He has, I should say, all that He has is mine. That the Father happily gives. That's the reaction. That's the attitude. That's the seeds that you need to be planting over and over and over again. Why? Because they will eventually be harvested. But see, we've been sleepwalking through the shadow world and we just like react to things. A news article there, a fight there, you got caught in traffic there. Uh, um, you got a bill, unexpected bill. You got you got you had to pay more money than you expected. You got a diagnosis from the doctor that you don't like. You stubbed your toe. You you have to go do a chore that you don't want to do. Moment to moment to moment. When you and I react to anything in this world, anything, every time, that is a seed that you're planting in the earth. And so you have these big seeds. You want to create this big orchard, right? You want to create a mansion and the most beautiful spouse and and the perfect body, right? So you want to plant those seeds, but you're busy holding on to those seeds because it's like you're so desperate for them. Meanwhile, all these other seeds that you keep planting into the garden without even realizing it are mucking up the whole thing. And now you have this garden that's overrun with weeds. Once you have planted this seed in your imagination, y'all, do not uproot it by being anxious about how it will be accomplished. Each seed has its own appointed time. Some seeds take a few days, other a little longer. Feel confident that what you have planted will appear in your world. Your imagination will draw all that it needs to make your dream an actual reality. If it takes others to play a part in order to accomplish your end, your imagination will draw that person into your drama to play his or her part in the sequence of events. Your only responsibility is to remain faithful to your imaginal act until you experience it in your outer world. You can repeat your imaginal act each night before falling asleep. In fact, you may wish to enact the drama over and over again until it feels normal and natural to you as you drop off to sleep. So during our days, y'all, we really need to get in the habit of not of letting go of the anxiety, letting go of that doubt and worry, letting go of the resistance you have to what is showing up. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, whatever is showing up, we have to start recognizing, wait a minute, this is my harvest. I see it. If it's something I want, if it's something I want, man, I take those seeds and I plant more of them. And if it's something I don't want, that's the perfect opportunity for me to let it go and recognize, okay, I won't plant seeds like that anymore, which is revision, right? So when we wake up in the morning, we need to walk with the confidence that we know that we've planted what we want to plant. That's why I say for us to do this practice of 3 times 3 and 2 times 5 or 3 times 3, to actually for 3 minutes, 3 times a day, sit within yourself, sit in the silence, in the state of the wish fulfilled, just for the sake of it, just to experience it. Because every moment you are planting a seed. So you might as well take the time day after day to do this. And honestly, if you do this, you're going to see results. But here's the thing, you're going to be doing this for a lifetime. So you might as well enjoy it now. Don't make this a chore. Make this your life. Make it your life to go into your imagination with confidence 3 times a day. And that 3 times will turn into 5 times a day. It will turn into 12 times a day automatically. Why not? You'll love being in your imagination. And the thing is, if you do this, others show up in the world to match that state of consciousness, just like they've always done. Everybody matches your state of consciousness. This isn't magic. This is what you do already. Now you're just becoming aware of it. Now you're just becoming conscious of it. Yes, even the bad things. And then if you start to realize the bad things actually aren't bad things, they're actually great things. Why are they great things? Because it's an opportunity for you to go home and see the Father within. And then when you go within, see the Father within, you come back out here and the whole world changes to match that state of consciousness. I'm telling y'all, man, I'm just witnessing such some really crazy changes with my family right now. I haven't seen my family in a couple of years because of, you know, the pandemic and me living in Hawaii and all this stuff. I haven't been here in Houston. I haven't seen my all my siblings and all their kids in a long time. I'm telling you, awesome things are happening. So of course, he says it right there. If it takes others to play their part in order to accomplish your end, your imagination will draw that person into your drama to play his or her part in the sequence of events. And so people are showing up different. And my only responsibility is to remain faithful to that original act. Well, what do I want to imagine? The ideal. Ah, this is awesome. Ah, this is perfect. This is awesome. This is perfect. This is absolutely wonderful. And you do it until it's perfectly externalized. And of course, you don't do it to get the outside world to change. You do it because you're changing what's going on within your own consciousness. So as you guys are taking this in, taking this information on, I really want y'all to get out of the overthinking of this. Really get out of the habit of overthinking. Remember, creation is finished. There's only one creator in this world, not two. There aren't two creators. The Father works through you. If there's something you need to do to make it come to pass, you will know exactly what it is that you need to do. If you need to make a plan will be made. And it will be a perfect plan that came through you, not to you, through you. Your only responsibility is to remain faithful to your imaginal act. Oh, but what are you saying? That should I just lay on the bed? If that's what you're being called to do, yes. If that's not what you're being called to do, then no. Sometimes it takes laying in the bed. Maybe you're the type of person who overdoes, overworks, and needs to actually sit your ass down. I don't know. Sorry for cursing. But the thing is, the world is always, always, and all you need to do is recognize it. Your only responsibility is to remain faithful to the original act. See, when we're talking about seed time and harvest, it can be very easy to get caught in the cause and effect of the world. Oh, because I did this, this happened. No, creation is finished. And yes, you might have imagined something that's not to your liking. Why would I do this? I don't know. Maybe you were watching something and you had an emotional reaction and you had the thought. Maybe it's a pattern, maybe it's a habit. Doesn't matter. You're experiencing the harvest. Now it's up to you to remain faithful to the ideal. This is a perfect world. This is a perfect world. God created a perfect universe. God created the perfect job. God created the perfect body. God created the perfect bank account. God created the perfect relationship. It's my human thinking that has me seeing otherwise and planting seeds that say otherwise. So all I need do is prune that vine, prune that garden, and harvest full clusters of awesome fruits and vegetables and roses and apples and oranges. If there's something that you guys want and it seems so far off and it seems as though there's nothing you can do to make it come to pass, great. There is nothing you can do to make it come to pass. There's nothing you can do except remain faithful to that ideal state of consciousness, trusting and knowing that you already are that person. And I don't say this to boast, you guys. I say it as an invitation to recognize right now. What are you choosing? Are you choosing that this is going to be something that comes far off? Are you choosing that you have to compromise who it is that you want to be just so you can fit in the mold because you experience a little bit of failure? No, your desire is yours. Your desire is of God. It doesn't mean you're not going to fail. It doesn't mean you're going to fall off. You're not going to fall off. That's not what I'm saying. As a matter of fact, I'm saying the reason why those things happen is because of these old seeds that we planted. Who knows when we plant? So that's why we prune. Every night you go to bed knowing who you are, knowing who you want to be, saying that I am that. Not that it's going to come someday. You want that new house? Go to bed in that house. You want that new job? Go to bed as that employed person. Plant that seed and let it go. And anytime this 3D world says something opposite of that, that is the opportunity to remind yourself, wait, guys, I know who I am. You let it be lovingly in the hands of the Father and you let Him do the work. man, if I could only share the thing, I just don't have the time to really share the things that have really unfolded the last couple weeks. But becoming, it just becomes more and more apparent as I teach and as I experience just how wonderful this is. So I'm gonna leave it there, you guys. Peace and hair grease. If y'all have any questions for me, go ahead.
That was great. I don't have any questions or anything. I am gonna drop off though because I gotta go get my clients together.
Yeah, you're good, Sierra. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
There, Earl.
Say that again?
I said you there, Earl.
Yeah.
Just sitting in the silence.
I don't know, more like sitting in the failure.
So, Earl, what does it feel like to sit in failure?
Like I'm stuck in the life I've always lived and don't know how to get out.
What would it feel like to sit in this feeling for another 5 minutes?
Feel normal.
What does that feel like? Normal.
Like depression.
What does depression feel like?
And it just feel like pressure that I can't overcome.
What do you see? Are your eyes closed? I want you to close your eyes, Earl. When you feel depression and like it's something you can't overcome, where do you feel that in your body?
I don't feel it nowhere right now. The closest I can say is feel heartburn in my chest sometimes and don't know where it's coming from.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. I don't. Do you want me to get? I have to get Abdullah with you, Earl. You ready for me to slam some doors?
Go ahead.
Did you say do it?
Yeah, I said go ahead.
I want you to choose the next thought.
Said choose the next thought.
Yes, sir.
Well, the first thought came to mind was I give up.
Great. I want you to choose the next thought.
No thought come to mind.
That's a thought right there. Great. Now, Earl, I want you to choose another thought.
First it was this is ridiculous. Then as I know what you're trying to do.
I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just asking you to do something. That was a thought, by the way. Of all the thoughts that went through your mind, that was the one you decided to choose. So choose another one.
Hey, well, this ain't gonna work.
Perfect. Choose another one. It's working
I
right
see
now.
what you trying. I see what you trying to do.
Great.
But hey, it
Choose
ain't
it.
really. I see what you trying to. I see what I'm doing.
Choose again. Choose another thought.
I don't know.
Great. Choose another thought.
I'm really just drawing a blank.
Another thought. Great. Choose another thought.
Okay, this is going nowhere.
Perfect. Great. Choose another thought.
It's the same thought. It's going nowhere.
That's not the same thought. You just said that's the same thought. It's going nowhere. That's a different thought. Choose another thought.
Can we get to the point?
It's another thought. Perfect. Choose another thought.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Perfect. Choose another thought.
All right, now it's getting frustrating.
Even better. Choose another thought.
All right, but whatever you're doing, it ain't working.
Great. Choose another thought.
That's my thought.
Great. Choose another thought.
Okay, that's my thought.
Perfect. Choose another thought.
All right, if this all we're gonna do, I'd rather not do it.
So what would you rather do?
Get to the point. Like, what do you see?
What do you see, Earl?
I see you avoiding.
Oh, am I avoiding? Or are you the one who's choosing the next thought?
My thought is I'm not getting where I'm trying to go because this ain't working.
It is working right now. See, before you were saying you're depressed. Now you're saying you're frustrated. Why? Because you're choosing your next thought and you don't even recognize it. At any given moment, Earl, you can choose. You can choose to be frustrated for the rest of your life if that's really what you want. You don't have to be. You can choose your next thought.
My thoughts ain't the problem, is the outer world is what I don't like.
I know. And if you've been listening and practicing, you would recognize that, Earl, the outside world is only mirroring what you are holding on to in your consciousness. You're the one who keeps choosing to see what you're seeing. You are the one choosing it. That's what this
You
whole
can't
presentation was
choose
about
not to
today.
see it. I can't choose not to see it when I gotta wake up every day and be in it.
Earl, when you wake up in the morning, what do you do first thing in the morning?
I don't know, probably turn on the TV.
Earl, do you practice the 2 times 5 or 3 times 3 like I've asked you to do?
Because when I try to do that, it just make me
That's
dwell on the
that's not what I asked you. I
that's what
asked you.
I'm telling you why I stopped doing it. I tried it.
I did not tell you to try to do it. I told you to do it.
And when I done it, it backfired.
Pause. I don't want to hear any excuses, Earl.
I ain't telling no excuse. I'm telling what
Yes,
actually
you,
happened.
Earl, pause. If you were listening to this presentation at all, you would have heard me actually address this. Do not look at the outside world for any proof of what is going on. This is for you to go within yourself, sit in the silence, and be the state of consciousness you want to be. If you show up in this world and it shows you something that is not to your liking, that is the opportunity to go within and see it again.
When
Why?
I go within, I
Pause.
feel what I'm not.
But this is why you need to do it over and over. I even said it in the presentation, Earl. It's not I try to, it is a continuous thing. Because why? Because of all the years of all the old seeds we have been planting, they need to be re- they need to be uprooted. They need to be pruned. And if you don't do this work, you can't do it. What you are doing, you said it on this call, is you keep paying attention to what's going on out there and you use out there as the reason why you feel the way you feel. And I'm telling you, you need to reverse that. And the only way to reverse that is by doing this practice. It's going to take you doing it over and over again. And the excuse of I've tried is not enough. In fact, that's more proof that you need to do it. Why? Because you don't do it. In fact, what you do is your old habit. Your old habit is waking up first thing in the morning and watching TV. So that's why you keep getting more of what you don't want. You have the ability of choosing your next thought. When you wake up in the morning, I asked you to sit in the silence. It's not what you do. You watch TV. You dwell on what state do you dwell in most of the day? Is it frustration? Is it depression? Because if that's the case, that's why you keep getting the things you don't want. I know it sounds nutty, but you know this. See, it says it right there on the screen. Once you have planted the seed in your imagination, do not uproot it by being anxious about how it will be accomplished. Each seed has its own appointed time. Some seeds take a few days, others a little longer. Feel confident that what you have planted will appear in your world. Your imagination will draw all that is needed to make your dream an actual reality. If it takes others to play a part in order to accomplish your end, your imagination will draw that person into your drama to play his or her part in the sequence of events. Your only responsibility, you hear this, Earl? Your only responsibility is to remain faithful to your imaginal act until you experience it in your outer world. It didn't say pay attention to what's going on in the outer world to experience it. No, you do it within. You can repeat your imaginal act each night before falling asleep. And what I'm teaching you as a coach is saying 3 times a day for 3 minutes, or 2 times a day for 5 minutes. It's like going to the gym, but it's your mind. You can repeat your imaginal act each night before falling asleep. In fact, you may wish to enact this drama over and over and over again until it feels normal and natural. You know what feels normal to you, Earl? Depression. Why? Because that's what you keep planting. That's what you keep being faithful to. It looks like to you, it looks like it's the outer world. To you, it looks like it's this physical world with all the problems. But what's going on is actually within you every time you have an emotion and you mix that with the thought, it doesn't go to the past. It goes to the future for you to harvest. So whenever you feel anytime you see failure in the outside world, you you're actually what you're doing is harvesting a seed of failure that you planted when who knows when you planted it. And then instead of doing this work, which is looking again, revising, imagining, ju- uh, uh, going to the if it ain't ideal, if it ain't ideal, it ain't real. If you're not doing that work, you're going to keep planting seeds of failure. So every time you experience failure, that actually is the opportunity to look again every single time. And you're saying, like, how do I do that? I'm like, I'm telling you, you got to choose the next thought. You have to consciously choose it. And it won't feel comfortable. Trust me, it will not feel comfortable. Why? Because you're not used to it. But you will get used to it and it will feel normal and natural. It doesn't feel normal and natural right now because you're used to planting seeds of failure. That's all. But once you what I'm getting so amped because it's like the the solution to your problem, I'm telling you, it's not the physical actions you're taking out in the world. No matter what you do physically in the outside world, if you don't change your consciousness within, it won't change. It won't change. So, yeah, you do this today, you do this tomorrow, you do this the next day, and you do this for 21 days. Guess what? You're still going to need to do it for 21 more days, and you'll still need to do it for 40 years. It's not a hit and miss. This is how it works. See, it says I brought it back to another one. I'm bringing it back. Our seed time is that moment in time when you and I react to anything in this world. Anything. So every time you look on the outside and you say it's not working, that's a reaction. And guess what? That reaction doesn't go to the past, it goes to the future. Attitudes are the seed times of life. And although we may not remember the seed time, and I'm telling you right now, the very fact that you're feeling the way you're feeling is the seed time. that you're not remembering. Nature never forgets. And when it suddenly appears in our world, that suddenness is only the emergence of a hidden continuity. So when something doesn't look like right, or something doesn't appear right, it's all because of a hidden continuity. It's like when you plant a seed in the ground, all the nutrients, all the worms, all the sunlight, all the water that is needed to make that seed germinate happens in a continuous method. It's like, but we can't see it. We can't see it. That's why the practice that we need to be in charge of is when you wake up in the morning, first thing you do, what first thing I do, I'll tell you, is I thank God. Why? Because hey, I'm awake. Great. But then I imagine, what do I want? I get to choose. Because he says, choose ye this day. Isn't it always this day? It's never tomorrow. It's never yesterday. It's always now. It's always now. It, it- mm, it's always now. And you plant a seed and you just let it come to pass. But the thing is, we have what? 60,000 thoughts in a day? However many thoughts? Most of them habitual. So yeah, bro, when I say it's not, I and I know I tell y'all this. I tell y'all this too, Earl. When you go into your imagination to do this work, don't go in there to go and get something. Go in there for the sheer joy of experiencing it, because that's where all of this is coming from, anyways. That's why we get in practice of this. That's why we do this. It's not a trying thing. It's a no, Earl. What I'm saying is, if you want that thing, it. When I manifested Hawaii, I literally, I literally woke up every morning. I would just say, I am home. I am home. I am home. Despite the fact that I was in Chicago and it was not home. In the afternoon, I would sit in the closet in the silence. I literally put blindfolds on my eyes, earplugs in my ears, and I said, I am home. I am home. I am home. And then as I went to bed at night, I I went to bed. I am home. I am home. I am home. Took me a month and a half. Took me a month and a half just saying that same thing to myself. And my mind, oh my goodness, Earl, my mind went was like a banshee. It would try to distract me all the time. No, you're not. What are you talking about? This is Chicago. What are you gonna do there? How are you gonna get there? Where is home anyways? Blah blah blah. Did it over and over and over again. Why? Why did I do it over and over again? Why? Because you may what was it? Where is it? He said it. You got to do it. Act until you experience it in your outer world. You can repeat your imaginal act each night before falling asleep. In fact, you may wish to enact the drama over and over again until it feels normal and natural. You can't say that you're trying it. You have to keep doing it over and over again. And then eventually your mind, your rational and logical mind that's so used to this outside world will give up. Your imagination can take over. Now I understand why Neville's teacher slammed the door in his face, because it's like, Earl, you already are the person you want to be. You're the one who's refusing to believe it. And I enjoy being harsh with you, but I don't like being harsh. I'd rather say it in a more calm and collected way, but I think you need a little slap in the face right now.
Hell, even all that just shows like what I'm used to.
I'm just playing my part, Earl.
No, serious. Like it's, I grew up trying to avoid chaos and didn't even realize that it just took hold of me.
Yeah, that's fine. Totally fine. See, you were trying to get the point earlier, and there's only one point that I'm trying to get across to you, Earl, is that the moment you choose to be the man that you're supposed to be, you don't even need to make it up. It's actually within you. The seed's already been planted. Remember, God created a perfect universe. It's only our human thinking that prevents us from actually seeing it. And you truly understand what I'm trying to say here. You think you need to go do stuff to make the world change. No, you need to be someone to make the world change. And the thing is, you already are him. You just need to believe it.
The problem I have is when I look inside to see who I am,
Hmm.
I don't have an answer.
You don't need one.
So then how do I know who I am?
Just say I am. You want prosperity, right?
Yeah,
You want perfect health, right?
yeah,
Right? You want a good relationship, right? With whomever, with your family members and the love of your life, right?
yeah,
Great. Can't you sit for 5 minutes and at least try to repeat that to yourself? I
yeah, I
didn't know,
can.
Earl, I didn't know where my home was going to be. I wasn't going, I'm going to live in Hawaii. I'm going to live. No, I sat there and said, I am home. I'm home. Because I knew, at least I knew that. I knew I at least wanted that, right?
Yeah,
At least I could see my mind would wander. My mind would wander. And I could always choose though. Wait, what do I want to think? Oh, that I'm home. Right, right, right. Home, home, I'm home. Oh man, that stupid bitch, man. She's doing that. Wait, yeah, I was like, wait a minute. That's not what I want to be thinking. What do you want to be thinking? That I'm home. Right, right, right. That's right. Home. I'm home. Ding, ding, ding. 5 minutes is up. All right, cool. Whatever. Man, did that even work? I don't know. Whatever. I got to get on to my day. Great. It's lunchtime. 5 minutes. Great. Sit down. Home. I'm home. I'm home. I'm home. God, man, I'm so hungry. What am I even doing there? This is stupid. Why am I here? God, man, Jerry doesn't know what he's talking about. Man, I'm just a failure. This is so stupid. Blah, blah, blah. Wait, wait. What? That's not what I want to be thinking. Ding, ding, ding. Alarm went up. Oh, damn it. All right, whatever. End of the day before I go to bed. God, this stupid stuff. It doesn't even work. Blah, blah, blah. Stupid. Fuck it. It doesn't work. I tried. Give up. Wake up in the morning, watch the news, go about the day, blah blah blah. Of course I'm not getting any money. Well, bank accounts, this is so stupid. Ring 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 ring. Mom calling. Oh, mama, what's up, mama or dad or whatever. This is oh, you know me. I'm just over here being fat and flabby. Okay, blah blah blah. Ring ring. It's time for the call. Jerry, yeah, man, I'm just so depressed. Yeah.
and I really needed to hear that because I would have never seen it without the mirror. So
Called
I
the
guess
law of
my next,
assumption.
go ahead.
I said it's called the law of assumption. Whatever you assume to be true about you will be true in the outside world. So start assuming something different. Start assuming you are wealthy, healthy, and wise. Just, you don't need proof. Just start assuming it. Because an assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. An assumption, though false, though false, all assumptions are false. No assumption is true. None. Everything in this outside world is all imagined first. They were all imagined first. So if you want to see the world change, you have to change within first. And you don't go within to try to fix the world. You go within to change yourself and how you view the world. You're not you're not weak. You're actually super powerful. Look at all the shitty things you've created. That's how powerful. And the thing is, Earl, I actually have to even take that back. Earl, the world's already been finished. It's already created. He gave you a garden. He gave you the garden of your mind and gave you awareness so you could have the ability of transmuting and changing your thoughts, by your beliefs, by your assumption, by your imagination. You don't even need to know what success looks like. You just need to assume that you are successful, and the mirror will match it perfectly. See, it says, feel confident that what you have planted will appear in your world. So when 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 you harvest a fruit and you eat that fruit, it has a bunch of seeds, and you plant it back into the ground, and it will appear in the world. And your imagination will draw all that it needs to make your dream an actual reality. If it takes others to play a part in order to accomplish your end, your imagination will draw that person into your drama to play his or her part in the sequence of events. Sometimes people will come into your life to help you do the manifestation that seem to be bad people, but they're just playing their part in order for you to manifest whatever it is that you need to manifest. And what do you need to manifest? Your own concept of yourself. So if you say I'm a failure, you're going to manifest people to prove to you that you are a failure. Hello, my name is Jerry. I'm your coach. But also, hello, I'm Jerry. I'm your coach. Like, I'm a mirror. That's why people hire me. They hire me to mirror their higher state of consciousness. I'm telling you, your higher state of consciousness is like, Earl, wake up so you can do this for yourself. That you called me here to wake you up. I called you here to wake me up. We called each other here to wake others up. The whole point here is to know God, Earl, right here, right now, always giving. All that He has is ours, Earl, and we're squandering it with our negative thinking that this world's against us. Great, it's good, great. Now I get to choose again. Be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. What? By the renewing of my mind. How the hell do I do that? By choosing. You got me all riled up now, Earl.
Well, was it me doing it or was it you creating it?
Both of us. We're just playing the part perfectly, Earl. We're selecting. I obviously love getting on my preacher's pulpit, and you know, but let's bring it down a notch, just so we can bring home the point. Earl, can you choose your next thought?
Yeah, I already did. I'm gonna get a pen and a notebook, and I'm gonna write down every negative thought that I done claimed as my truth. So from
And,
now on, I can see what lies I have been calling my truth.
and you can do it in an even easier way. I mean, do that, of course. Do it, get it all out. But anytime, anything that isn't ideal to you, anytime, at any moment, at any moment, you can always remind yourself, wait, what do I want? The biggest lie that we have a lot when we ask ourselves, what do you want? We'll say, I don't know. That's not true. You do know. The very fact that you don't like something implies that you do like something. So just choose the opposite, if anything. And if not, just choose God. This is lovingly in the hands of the Father. The Father within me does the work. The Father within me does the work. The Father within me does the work. They're living a perfect, God created a perfect universe, often taken care of. All is good. All is good. All is good. Isn't it wonderful? Whatever it takes to choose the thought that brings you closer to your ideal, Earl. Don't worry about what's going on in the 3D, because the 3D, this external world, is all old news. And I'm telling you, if you do this work, but you have to do it. You can't just hear me to do it. Write down on the list, true, yes, but any moment, any moment. See, our seed time is that moment in time, when you and I react to anything in this world. Anything. That means good, bad, or indifferent. Anything. So if something good happens and you have an emotion about it and you have a great thought about it, great. That's a seed time. It goes to the future. Anytime something bad happens and you have an emotion about it and you have a thought, great. That's a seed time. Guess what? It goes to the future. Anytime anything happens and it's just indifferent, you don't really care about it, but for whatever reason, here you are having an emotion about it. It's just like, whatever. Guess what? It goes to the future. Why? Because that's just how it works. Seeds grow trees. Most people have no clue that this is how it works. Most people just go on and on and on. Then others come to find this information and they're like, oh my God, I totally understand this stuff. I've seen it work in my life. Now I need to try it. Fuck it. It doesn't work. I'm a failure. And what? You're just gonna go back to sleep? You can't. You can't. You can't. So write your list, do it. But honestly, Earl, your big assignment, it's not to try this. It's to do this. This is a doing thing. It costs you no more than a couple of minutes a day spread out through the day. It's not even about catching all the thoughts that you've accepted through time. It's not that. That's not what I'm asking you to do. As great as an exercise as that is, do it. But that's not what I'm asking you to do. What I'm asking you to do is sit down 3 minutes, 3 times a day, living in your ideal state, whatever that looks like. It I did this with Armors about 2 months ago. He was also having a financial issue, and I was like, "All right, dude, how much do you want?" He told me how much he wanted. Great. Well, I want you to do 2 times 5, 3 times 3, whatever you want to do. I recommend 3 times 3 so you can remember. Just imagine telling me the good news every day, no excuses. Just imagine saying, "Oh my God, Jerry, news." And a month went by. He didn't tell me anything. I didn't ask. Comes in, he's like, "Man, he got 10x what he wanted." 10x what he wanted. I asked him, "Did you do the work?" He's like, "Man, not only did he do the work, but I asked him to do the 3 times 3, he found other opportunities throughout the day to do it." And the way the money came to him, he was like, "Dude, I could not have even drawn it up." It was like he had to like he went to go hang out with this person. This person was like talking to him, and that person was just like, "You know who you need to talk to? You need to talk to this person about something completely different." He wasn't expecting anything at the back end of this. And then that person was just like, "Oh, hey, by the way, I've been wanting to do something with you. Here's the contract, 10x of what you told Jerry you want." It's not about intellectualizing. It's not about trying to figure out how. It's not about trying to figure out why or why you were raised this way or anything like that. No, that's not what I'm asking you to do. We can get into all that later. Right now, Earl, I'm trying to teach you a principle. And I do have to go. I have to get back with my family right now. But Earl, my friend, you are doing good. I need you to understand that. I know it sounds foreign, but it's true. You are the man you want to be.
Yeah, I hear you.
One of my favorite words is "yeah, but." Jerry, you are the man you want to be. Yeah, but like, man, I just made so many failures. I don't care. Choose again. Choose your next thought. I'm sorry. I'm laughing only because it's just like I, what you're going through, Earl. Trust me. The only reason why I'm being so flippant with you is because I've been there, bro. That's the only reason why I know. It's because I've been there, and I'm telling you, it doesn't need to take as long as it took me. It doesn't. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. It's as quick as you let it be. Oh, it's a process. It's a process. Man, I've worked with people who got it like that, and I've worked with people it's taken them years. It just it is what it is. But I slam doors. All right, Earl? Can you do this? Can you commit to this?
Yeah.
3 times 5? I'm sorry, 3 times 3?
Yeah.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I don't usually do this, Earl, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually check in with you for the next week. I'm committing to 1 week of checking in with you. I'm once a day. I'm not going to do 3 times a day. I'm going to check in with you once a day and be like, did you do did you do your work? Is that cool? Is that all right?
Yeah, it's all right.
Cool. Thanks for manifesting me, by the way, Earl.
I say thank you to you too, because it was according to it happened. It was you asked for it and not here too.
Hmm. Our seed time is that moment in time when you and I react to anything in this world. All right, bud. I'll talk to you later, okay?
All right.